G'day mates, how's it going? You're on DirtByte. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25 Highlands Fishing Expansion. So you joined me on a overcast October morning. I've just been reviewing what we can do today. We still have to wait a little bit for the best time to sell our produce. We don't really have any fields to drill or plant. We can prep the fields though, so we're going to start off with that just as our first job. Both the fields that we've got, well, actually, the 3 fields we've got, we can possibly mulch, which is what I want to look into first. So let's just jump into the store menu. I just want to see what our options are for mulching. I'm not exactly sure where mulching would be. Let's just have a quick look and I'll bring you back in a second once we've found it. Oh, doesn't matter. I've literally seen it just as I finished that sentence. So here we go. So there's quite a few options, but how big are the options? Well, that's 7 meters. It does 12 kilometers per hour. So possibly this mulcher might be the way to go. This is quite expensive, this one, but I don't think it's worth getting that one, even though it is 12.2 meters. It is literally over double the price of this one. I mean, we're just going to rent it anyway. So let's rent the biggest one. Like, how much is it to lease? Yeah, why not? We'll give it a go. Because if it ends up being worth it, it probably would be good to get a mulcher. Oh, I just have to... There we go. I'll just have to change some settings. I'll be back in a second. There we go. Away we go. Yeah, I just had the wrong setting set. I had it as change gears manually and not change directions manually because we had a bit of an issue with that last time with the JCB. So that's all sorted now. We're going to head down to the store. We're going to pick up our mulcher and we're going to give it a go. Like I said, I just want to prep the fields as absolutely to be the most efficient that we can do for this next lot of crops. So that will include the mulching that we're about to do. Then we'll also include the lime. We've got to do the lime as well, which is something we can do today in preparation for planting. And then when we do plant, I do want to roll. So there are a number of steps that we can do to help improve the yield of the crop. I don't know whether that's actually worth it for some crops, but I want to give it a go. It's just a bit of extra interest that we can do for the, in these months where there's not much other farming stuff going on. So getting the fields as efficient and prepped as possible, I think is a really good use of time. That fog is a bit blindy this morning. You may also notice that there has been an improvement in the video quality. I have upgraded to 4K monitor now. So this is my first Farming Simulator video that I'm doing in 4K. From my perspective of playing, I can see a huge improvement over the 1080p. And I hope that will translate across to clearer and crisper recordings for YouTube. So I'm hopeful that that's going to be a worthwhile investment and upgrade. What we'll do, I think we'll just start off this mulching as a time lapse. So given that the size and the speed that this works at, I'm hopeful we can get maybe 1.5 fields done in a length of time lapse that isn't too long. Something around 10 or 15 minutes of in-game works out to be about 1 minute to 2 of time lapse, which I think seems to be pretty good. Should have had the beacons on because obviously we're driving on the road. And cars probably won't have to see a massive blue tractor and a huge red implement that it's towing. The flashing lights will make all the difference there. So anyway, I'm going to turn them off because I don't want to get distracted. And we're going to get started with this. So we'll see you once we're through a little bit. There we go. Welcome back. So we've got through, like I said, about a field and a half, which is pretty good. This I really quite enjoy using this mulcher. It's a very satisfying job taking a field that looks pretty average with the weeds and different things and leaving it all looking nice and flat and even. It's really nice. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put it onto a worker to finish this field. We're going to go and have a look at cutting some trees down. The one thing I did notice is I thought this tractor would be fine to tow this. I know it is a pretty decent sized machine, but it, like even now, it's struggling to do like 15 kilometers an hour, where the actual speed it can do with this, with the cultivator or the mulcher can do is 20. So if this is something we do buy in the future, we are going to want to get, we need to have bigger tractor first. There we go. Don't worry about doing the headlands for the worker. There we go. So hopefully we'll get lined up and get going with that. There you go. Looks good. It's very, very dusty, that work. Good thing we've got a cab on our tractor. So while he's doing that, let's go across to our forest and start looking at what trees we can cut down. So I'm just going to run across there. I'm going to grab the chainsaw on the way. I'll meet you over in the forest in a couple of minutes. Here we are over in our patch of forest that we're clearing slowly for wood to take to the sawmill for predominantly the castle construction, but we'll use it for other things in time. It's starting to get pretty thinned out over here, so we're just going to work, like, we're in quite a bit of this, so we're just going to work down towards our boundary first up to get rid of whatever, or to trim out the ones we've got access to here. It's a bit weird how it's fallen into another tree. Yep, I better take this one down as well. There we go. Gonna fall down now. We'll give it a hand to fall down soon. So yeah, we're gonna do this. One thing I have noticed since upgrading to the 4K monitor, that obviously I've had to, like, I pretty well had it full ultra settings for everything on my old monitor. I had to turn it down a little bit because my GPU isn't able to keep up with that and doing the encoding for the screen recorder through OBS. I mean, it still is very high settings, but I do note that my GPU now for most things is just sitting at 98, 100% utilization, and it is, the CPU core is sitting at about 85 degrees at all times, which, you know, that's okay. There's no problem with that. So it looks like we can cut that, but it's actually outside the boundary. So I'm not going to worry about, I don't want to glitch anything. But yeah, the problem with the GPU being such high utilization and temperature is the fact that where I record, I don't have air conditioning in my little like office area. And it's usually quite hot. Like currently today here where I am, it's about 30 degrees Celsius outside. And in my office with the GPU running and doing this, it's getting up to about 32 degrees, which was probably just a standard summer's day for us here. But yeah, it gets pretty warm. And I think that now with running a 4K monitor, that is just going to be a little bit warmer, bit more heat in the air. Just one of those things. But I much prefer to play in 4K. Like for me so far, even though I've only played 20 minutes or so, the experience and the visuals of it is vastly improved. I really do hope that comes across in the videos once we start looking at editing and doing that after I finish the recording for this episode. Getting to a 4K monitor is definitely something I've wanted to do for quite a while. It's just never been something that I've I've really done. Like I've built my own PC and upgraded it over the years. But yeah, getting that monitor was probably the final step. Well, potentially the final step, because now I've got a 4K monitor, I realize that that my GPU it's pretty good. Like it's a 3080 RTX from Nvidia, and back a few years ago when I got it, it was like great. I just think now with this bit bigger monitor, it struggles just a little bit. I don't think it's underpowered too much. Like it's doing a great job. Very high settings for farm sim is quite good, including recording, like encoding and screen recording. So yeah, can't really complain. Oh, don't glitch. So, haunted tree. I'll just cut down one more. I'll cut this one down, and then we'll process them up into appropriate size logs, and we'll bring the trailer over in preparation for taking them over the sawmill. The sawmill is out now, so it desperately needs these extra trees to process, because the guys are sitting over there, they've got nothing to do because we haven't brought any more wood over for them. So I'm gonna get these cut down to size, and we'll load them up. So we'll bring along for time-lapse. Hopefully it won't be too motion sicknessy, but if it is, we'll just leave it out. So we'll see you soon.
Stars align above the field tonight. Bodies move into ancient rhythm. Feel the earth beneath our feet. Sacred ground where strangers meet. Drums are calling out our names. Hearts are wild, souls untamed. Round and round we spin. Let the magic in. This is where we belong. We're ritual dancing under heaven's dome.
There we go. So we're all loaded up. I thought there was another one. Oh, hang on. Here it is. Yep. There's just a smaller one here. We're just going to chuck that on. Yes, we are using super strength for this. I just find it personally, obviously it's a lot easier than the correct methodology is what you would use for like some sort of machine with grabs or crane. But I think just for the sake of this playthrough, super strength, I've got no issue with super strength. If we had something like a standard trees and we could use one of the tree harvesters, that we could cut them up into the same lengths, I'd be keen to do that. I want to potentially try that on this series. Plus I also want, if that was the case, I would also want to then use a loader, because like if they're all the same length, it's fine. When they're all a bit weird random shapes like those ones are, yeah, I just find that super strength is, yeah, personally the way to go. So what we're going to do is I am going to do the other field where the onions were with the mulcher. We're not going to do that just yet. I've got that obviously loaded up and I want to take those over now so they can start processing. So just going to drop the mulcher off here. So obviously we're going to need our bigger tractor, because the JCB would not be able to tow that big load of logs over. I'm actually quite surprised at how many we got on there in the end. When I was cutting down the little trees, I was thinking, oh, this isn't going to be very much at all, because we have targeted quite a few big trees in this area while we've been doing it. And not so much of the little trees, but it all quite like quickly stacks up and adds up. So my only hope is that I have left enough room to hook onto the trailer, which it's looking possibly not. Let's see if I can, because if not, that's a problem. It may be okay. Okay, so yes, I mean, except for the branches coming through the cab, I think we're all good. Let's just see if we can get out of here without causing any sort of problems or rolling over or anything. Yeah, just easy does it with a load like this. You know, I think we're all good. So I'm going to take this over. We'll shoot across to the sawmill now. I'll just drive down there. I'll bring you back in once we're there and we'll see how much we've got on this load. It's a pretty big load. So I'm hopeful we're going to have quite a good amount of wood in the sawmill, but we'll see you soon. I'll see you down there. Here we go. We're approaching the sawmill. It's ride down was pretty good. I've even had a little branch buddy here beside me. He wasn't too much of a problem. So that was a good thing. So there's no wood in the sawmill currently. So whatever the total is when we unload this is how much was on this load. So let us get into the location. Unstrap, and we just need to jump out to unload. Ready? 33,828 liters, which, yeah, not going to complain at that. That's definitely going to process into a good amount of money's worth of long planks, beams, and wood chips is what we're doing at the moment. So I'm pretty confident that when January has gone by, we're going to have a significant amount of money. We've got onions to sell, wheat, barley, we'll have castle stones and plenty of wood. So the next few months in game, we're really going to see a massive increase in our bank balance, and we need it. We still have over $1 million loan that we've taken out, so we've got to pay that back. And yeah, there's still a lot of expansion and stuff that we want to get done in this series. So yeah, we definitely need that money. I think for now, what we'll do is we'll head back with this trailer, and I'm going to grab... Well, that's right, I parked my JCB here. I need to come and get that at some point. I broke down and needed it. I got a lift back to the farm, but yeah, it's all fixed now. I need to come and grab it at some point. What I'm going to do is we're going to go back and drop this trailer off, and I'm going to put the spreader on and come back down to the lime point here, get a full spreader worth of lime and get started in one of the fields that we have done the mulching in today. So that'll be the last job for this episode. So it'll take a little bit of time, but we probably won't get a whole field done. It'll just be one spreader load, I reckon, depending on the time. Depending on... Oh, that speed hump threw me off there, and we nearly had a head-on with that bus. Luckily, we were able to save it and only just had a head-on with a sign, which isn't so bad. Just have to remember where we put the spreader. I think I put it in one of the sheds. I'll go and have a look for it. So I'll go and disconnect this, grab up the spreader and go down and fill it up, and then we'll see you back here once we're spreading. So see you in a minute. Here we go. Well, we have 63% within the spreader, so there's no point going down and filling it up now. We might as well get a start on this. Let's do 2 laps of the headland just to be safe. Yeah, so we're going to start on this now. I'm assuming we're going to get to it very, very quickly. It hasn't been done since we started the game, so you can see it is getting to it relatively quickly, but it is putting quite a bit on. So I do think it's going to be worth it. We also need some fuel in this tractor, which I think that the only place to get it is down near the fuel station. That is... No, good thing that hedge is pretty soft and the Royal Mail van stopped in time. Yeah, so I think the fuel we need to get from the fuel station, which is down by the river, I think. I think we're still going to have enough to possibly get through today with the liming, and then we can look at it after that. But I'm not sure if it does get critical low. We'll head down and get some. What we're going to do is we're going to jump out here. We're going to do a 10 or so minute time lapse just to get some of this lime in now. And then we'll see you once we get through. Hopefully we get this field done, but I'm not sure. But I'll see you soon.
Dusty boots on a digital plane, twang guitar, synth frame, sunsets glow, a pixelated hue. This old country feeling brand new. Me a prairie where the tumbleweeds roll to a drum machine beat, losing all control. 80s echoes and a cowboy squeak under the stars, wild and free. Classic beats, steady pulls through the static. My heart exults from the honky tonk to the arcade light, dancing till dawn through the digital night. We're putting on the top the waves full to the country seat beat, good stay lost and full. Hey, trippers and redact those me, gungeon stars, wild and free. No lonesome highways, just a data stream.
Welcome back. Here we are. We're just doing a bit in this field as well. It actually hasn't used too much slime. I'm pleasantly surprised. We've only had to refill once, and we're only down to 50% in this spreader now. So I think hopefully just one more refill for that field in front of us. We may have to get it done. So just, it's actually, I think it's using less than what the grass field did. That's for sure. I thought we'd do something a bit different. I obviously need to mulch this one first, but I need to mulch this field. But I thought I would go and do the lime first. Just for something a bit different, see how that works. And also, it's raining, so I thought it might be a good job while it's raining. However, I think that's probably where we'll leave it for today. I think we've done quite a bit with the mulching and the liming and the wood. We're really progressing. It's making the use of these months where we're not necessarily planting or harvesting, but we're definitely doing useful things in the field. One thing before I go, I do notice is like the features that Giants have added in this game, such as like the dynamic mud and the rain and different things like that. And it's always been really good. It looked really good, but for me on this 4K monitor, it actually is looking like very realistic there. I'm very happy with the improvements and again the 4K monitor. The only issue is that I'm assuming that this recording is going to be about 200 gigabytes. So yeah, for what you get in quality, you'll also lose in size effectively for recordings. But like, look at this, like for me, it's worth it. The visuals you get and the clearer it is, like even the water on the bonnet there and the reflections and even the rain itself, it's a big improvement. But that's it. So thank you very much for joining me today. Please do like and subscribe if you're looking forward to continued expansion on the Kinlaig Highlands expansion DLC map. But for now, remember to keep your boots dirty and your bytes clean, and I'll catch you next time on DirtByte.